guys, Freakamay here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Memorable Saturdays. But without further ado, we're going to be reviewing something that's not quite from my childhood, but might be from some of yours if, well, you were born quite a while ago, I guess. And that thing is Freaks and Geeks. So Freaks and Geeks is basically a series about a girl who hangs out with this kind of outcast group of kids that's like smokes and, causes trouble sometimes, just doing their own thing. And a boy who is her younger brother that is with this group at school that's kind of the geeks. So it starts out at William McKinley High School in 1980, where we're showing a football field, a coach yelling at a bunch of players, and then it shows like a girl and a boy all like romantic on the bleachers, but below those bleachers, there's some guys smoking, and they got a stellar cast on those guys. They got Jason Segel, Seth Rogen, James Franco. That's pretty freaking awesome. I actually don't remember any of those characters' names, but they're in there smoking. The James Franco was telling a story about how he wore some violent shirt to church. And then we're introduced to Sam's group. Sam is walking around with his friends Bill and What's-His-Face, doing Bill Murray impressions. And then they're spotted by the bully, Alan. At least that's what I think his name is. And they're like, hey, you like Bill Murray? Bill Murray sucks. He starts being all rude to him. But then Sam's sister, Lindsay, comes in and he's like, hey, why you want to fight a guy not your size, huh? Basically backs him up, and then Sam's like, you didn't need to do that, and she's like, I know. Oh, sorry. So yeah, this show is a pretty awesome thing. So basically, it's dinner time at the Weir's house. The mom says that a friend of hers had seen Lindsay smoking, or had claimed to, and she denied smoking, even though she most likely did. She's got that whole fishy group going. Mom brings up the homecoming dance and says that both kids are gonna go. And then basically the dad gives Lindsay either the choice of homecoming or some boring event he's hosting. I don't remember what he said. And I don't care enough to double check. So it's lunchtime at school. Sam brings up homecoming and he finds out that Bill and Neil aren't gonna go. Non-surprisingly enough, they're geeks, so and then Alan comes over and then squashes Sam's Twinkies. Yeah. How nice of him. Basically, tattletales on him and calls over the principal, and then he says, why don't you go get him some new dessert? Neil tells him that he probably should have handled that situation differently, but Sam brings up the fact that Bill or Neil have never backed him up, and Sam says, they gotta help him, otherwise Alan ain't going away. So Lindsay walks over to Daniel and he's like, Ma, let's go hit the patio. And she's like, oh, smoking patio? Because it's one of her first smoking experiences. And then the Seth Rogen guy, I don't even know what his character's name is, whacks some girl in the butt with like a stick or a drumstick. And then she's like, don't touch me, you scuzz. And then he's like, I'm sorry, my butt was calling to you. Pedophile. So they're like hanging out and Lindsay asks them about the dance. It's a no way for them as well. And eventually Lindsay's friend Millie is calling for her and she's like, today's deadline for this academic thing. Why don't you turn in your application? And Lindsay says she's not doing it. And we kind of clearly see that Lindsay is leaving behind an academic career to hang out with these guys. Which is a freaking bad idea. So this girl that Sam likes called Cindy Sanders comes up to him and gives him his jacket. And Bill and Neil say that, yeah, he's in there. She likes him. He's in the game. Like EA Sports. It's in the game. That was freaking hilarious. We're then introduced to another character in Lindsay's group named Kim, who's kind of like the mean girl one of the group. And she says she's cutting class. So Sam, Neil, and Bill are in the locker room, and Alan comes over and slams Sam's locker. And he's like, "You're dead, Weir!" And then, he just shoves past Bill, and then he's like, "Alan?" And he's like, "Yeah." Because he, trying to really step up to him. And he's like, "What is the point of all this?" And he said, "The point is, you're dead too." So there's this kid that's mentally disabled, I guess, called Eli, that's walking down the hall of the school asking girls if they want to go to homecoming, and they're laughing in his face. Then some bullies come up to him and they're like, "Hey Eli, there's a bee on your book," knock it out of his hand. And then Lindsay comes over and then she's like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And then he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Defend your husband?" And then she's like, "What if he was my husband? That'd be some kind of joke to you." And then he's all like, "No, that'd be perfectly fine to me. I think you two make a good couple." And she asks him out to homecoming. You see the bully's face just totally changed from "this is funny" to "oh, I just got destroyed." So during PE, the coach says because of the big homecoming game the next day, they got the day off. But that didn't mean they got to go home or something, no. That meant they got to do something fun. Play dodgeball. Now that is the athletic kid's dream come true. And that is the geek's worst nightmare. So yeah, the geeks get clobbered in dodgeball. So basically, Lindsay's talking to her guidance counselor about this whole thing, and she's not really saying much of anything, and then he's like, "Let's talk openly. I'm no longer Mr. Rosso, guidance counselor. I'm Jeff, your friend. And you're not Ms. Weir, you're Lindsay." I don't know whether or not his real name is Jeff, but I'm just gonna guess it is. And then she says, clearly faking, "Jeff, I've never felt this good in my life." And then he's like, "Maybe someone should tell that to your face." So Bill, Neil, and Sam talked to some long-haired kid with glasses. I don't remember what his name is. He's kind of like a sidekick kid. And then he said, the best thing to do about Alan would be to fight him. But Neil's like, "I'm not fighting that dude. He's going to beat me up. And he's not my problem." Unfortunately, right after that, he bumps into Alan. And Alan's like, "You looking for a fight, dork?" And Neil's like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, you're going to get one." Facepalm. So Jason Segel and Lindsay go out and skip class. And Jason Segel, yes, that's what I'm calling him because I still don't remember his character name. They go out to Jason's garage, we'll just call him Jason, and he's like, "There's this thing you really, really love, man," and it just turns out to be a drum set. But they unfortunately get caught skipping class by Mr. Rosso, their guidance counselor, and he tries to force Lindsay to be a mathlete again. But she doesn't go with it. Well, denying wasn't a great idea because she ends up needing to work the refreshment table at the homecoming dance. Lindsay gets a little upset at dinner, and Sam finds her looking at a picture of her grandma, who, well, she misses because she is passed on. And basically, she shucks Sam off. She's kind of sad about it, but anyway, the next day is fight day. So when Alan arrives, he starts shoving around Neil and this some other guy that's there, and Bill gets mad, so he jumps on him, and then people are just wrestling around and hitting each other. And meanwhile, Sam is asking Sydney to the dance, and he finally gets the guts to when he finds out that she's going with someone else. Oh, but she said she'd save a dance for him. He's in there. He's in there. Basically, in the fight part of it, Alan just ends up running away "Hey, you ripped my chair, you're dead!" And she got on his bike and just That's the best I can do for a bike. So it's the night of homecoming dance, and basically, Sam gets his dance with Cindy, and then Lindsay, while running the drink table, notices Eli, and so basically, she goes over and has a quick dance with him, because I guess you can kind of tell that she's sorry, and they just have a good time on the dance floor, you know? So that was Season 1, Episode 1 of Freaks and Geeks. I hope you all enjoyed my review, and please request in the comments below what you want me to review or just do next on Memorable Saturdays. Please subscribe and give that bell a click, give that like button a whack, and until next time, stay remembered.